Hey guys, this will serve as the overview for November 18th. All right, as we start out on Monday, we are going back into the overhead squats times 5 on the 2 minutes for 5 sets. Again, this is more about range of motion and quality. If we have to, we're going PVC pipe or we're doing squat therapy on the wall. If you did do this last week, then you're looking at maybe building slightly. If you did the same weight across all sets, you could build on one set or you could choose to sort of build on multiple sets. Now, we did kind of change up what we're going to be doing in the second part is we're just going to roll right into a back squat, focusing on a 5x5 again at 70 to 80%. And then between that, we're going to be doing 8 to 12 double bent over rows. Okay, so dumbbell bent over rows. And just working on a lower body squat and upper body pull to kind of finish off the day. Starting this week off with a little less intensity than we did last week, as we did a lot of volume and intensity even towards the back end of the week. So we're going to start off this week just focusing on quality, doing a little bit of strength work on Monday to start. Tuesday, we are going to open up with a gymnastic pulling skill volume work, which is where you're going to do 1 minute at whatever version of this you're gonna choose. RX Plus is bar muscle up. Performance chest to bar pull up, performance modified pull ups, and then fitness is going to be jumping pull ups or jumping chest to bar pull ups. It's 1 minute on and 1 minute off for 6 minutes. This is again going to be something where you're going to choose to do this in manageable sets. Okay, so if you can do larger sets, yeah, maybe it is 2 large sets, on the 30 seconds or whatever. But if you have to, then you're still going to do sets of 2 to 5 to 6, whatever it is that's repeatable, using the clock and just working for the entire minute, taking a little break, and then doing that again. Again, focus on this being very high quality and really driving the movement. We've been working on these movements for a while now. So whichever one you have and you want to challenge yourself to, that's what you want to do today. Take care of your hands. If your hands are feeling hot or whatever, just back it off or, take a whole set off. It's not imperative that you do all 6 rounds. Just focus on actually just moving the needle forward. After that, we have a monostructural aerobic work that we're going to be doing. So we have 25 and 18 cal row and then 50 double unders. Performance is going to be 6 rounds and RX Plus is 7 rounds. For fitness, we're going to keep the row calories the same and we're going to be doing single unders for 50. And it's only 5 rounds. But we're looking at this being somewhere a sub 16 minutes. Top target's going to be 13 minutes. This is going to be a pretty challenging workout. We're going to really work on driving through the legs, finishing strong in the back, making sure that we're pushing a proper row technique, trying to keep that anywhere from, I would say, a minute 15 to a minute 30, and then you got, 30 seconds or so to do the double unders, okay? So, it'll probably be 30 to 45 seconds on the double unders, and that's what's going to push us to that 16-minute mark or less. Smooth transitions here, guys, but again, this is going to be about just kind of starting off steady, and then, try to think about the first 3 rounds being really a good pacer to see where you're at, and then try to build and finish strong on the day. Wednesday, we're adding a set to the deadlift. So from last week, we have 5, 5, 5, 3, and then 3. So we're going to go on, roughly the same weight. I would just kind of stick with that same weight that you did last week for the 5s, whatever the top weight was for the 5s. Anywhere around there, as long as, again, form and technique is super important. You do have fatigue from the last week leading into this week. We did have back squats this week. So really listen to your body. We want to focus on making sure that we're bracing properly. We have tension in the abdomen, as well as keeping a flat back and just working through the range of motion. Now, on the second piece, the second part of this, we are doing that same strict press, gymnastic press. So whether that's a deficit strict handstand push-up, strict dip, or box dip, look at this as, what I would try to do is either, if you went 8s for all the rounds last time, maybe try something that's a little bit harder, like work your way up. Say I did strict dips last week for 8s. Maybe I'm going to just go with the, up to the strict handstand push-up. But if that seems like you can't do that, then that's fine. Just try to, the extra set and holding 8s is going to be good too. So if you have the possibility, if you did strict handstand push-ups last week and you went for 8s, maybe you add a slight deficit. If not, you could just, again, try to hold 8s. We are adding a full set, so even just holding what you did last time and doing the extra set is going to increase the volume, and that's how we're going to work on, progressing this week. After that, this is more of a volume and repetition method that we're going to be pushing as like our accessory work. So we have the same thing, a hinge and a press, the kettlebell swings and the dumbbell bench press, and then ab mat sit-ups to finish. So it's a minute of each of these, no rest between rounds. We're just going to be transitioning. When we look at this, being able to hit at least 15 per set, I think is a really good way to look at. So like whatever weight you choose to do today, holding 15 is going to be important on each of these. And then, in the middle range is going to be anywhere around 20 a minute for each of these. And then over 20 is kind of like the top targets, I would say, for today. But if you're feeling kind of beat up and you want to move steady on the kettlebell swings, just doing a Russian swing to the eyes is totally fine today. Again, to push the volume. Typically with the RX range of motion, though, we are looking at being overhead and locked out. But just play that by ear and seeing how you're feeling. Again, it's really important that we use the same bracing principles that we did for the deadlift, of making sure that we're keeping our belly tight, we're driving, squeezing the glutes tight as we drive our hip forward and accelerate that kettlebell up. On Thursday, we are going to do a spin off of a CrossFit benchmark, which is strict, Nicole. So typically it's just as many pull-ups as you can do, but we are going to do this strict. We do have a little pre-fatigue from earlier this week of doing that gymnastic skill, but it is going to be a 20-minute AMRAP, 400-meter run, and then strict pull-ups. Okay, so a max set, single max set. When you score this, it's going to be 2 columns. You're going to score your pull-ups on one side and then your rounds on the other side. So the rounds will be the tiebreaker. Total pull-ups is actually what we're going to be measuring as what's the best score. So with this, scaling to get, roughly 25 or, sets of 5 and 5 rounds is good. At least 25 strict pull-ups, or, going to a strict ring road to be able to go over that. And then a good target is going to be 50, and then top target is probably somewhere around 70 in 6 rounds. So again, guys, on this, we're really just focusing on, pushing a range of motion, challenging yourself with the pull-up. If you want to do strict pull-ups, but you can only do like a set of 2 or 3, and you want to do 2 sets, I think that's a fine modification for today. Just record it as a modified version so we can look at that on the leaderboard. It just helps me, not that it really matters who's on top of the leaderboard, it just helps me kind of see what people are actually doing to make adjustments in the future. So again, just focus on the range of motion of the strict pull-up, pushing the run at a nice steady pace. And again, we're just getting pull-up volume in today and a little bit of conditioning. Friday, we're going to be doing hang power cleans times 6 on the 2.5 minutes for 5 sets, building to a 6-rep max. All right. On this, there's a way that you can kind of like bounce it off the thighs. I think for today that I wouldn't try to do that. We really want to kind of drive the volume of the actual hang power clean. You don't have to necessarily take it down to the knee, but trying to focus on really like bringing it back, pushing the hip back, and then driving up, and then pushing to a 6-rep max. After that, we are going to be doing 5 minutes on the clock, a 1,000 meter or 800-meter bike, 25 wall balls, and then as many power cleans as you can at 100% of whatever you hit in this 6-rep max. Okay, we'll rest 2 minutes. We'll do that for 2 times. The target will vary here, but just having anywhere from 90 to seconds to 2 minutes on the power cleans is what we're going to be doing. Doing singles there, or short touch and go sets, and just really working on getting in some volume of the actual power clean all the way from the floor. On Saturday, we have a 1,500-meter row. Your partner will hold the plank while you guys are doing that. So while one person's working, you're holding a plank. Then we have a 10 by 100-meter farmer's carry. So each person will do 5 just as a relay. And then we have a 1,500-meter ski, same thing, holding a plank. Really, guys, just finishing off this week with little monostructural and carries. It was kind of a lot of volume this week. And just kind of trying to finish off and kind of take Saturday a little bit easier as we reset and get back after it on Monday. All right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, reach out. My email is at brandon@makocrossfit.com. If not, we'll see you in the gym.